What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely weekend. And that being said, let's get into the weekly update. All right, so we're going to start off over here with the economic calendar, and then we're going to get into the charts. All right, just in case anybody wants to, see hawkish, dovish speakers. What do we have? There you go. All right, so we have, and by the way, guys, we have a lot of Fed speakers this week. All right, and I'm just going to say overwhelmingly they're hawkish. I think we have 4 or 5 of these that are hawks, and we only have one dove, and the one dove is speaking after market hours over on Friday, which is not, oh wait, hang on, I went past. All right, yeah, over here you have wait, I'm completely bugging. That's the next week. All right, you have over here. There, that is your one dove, okay? But let's run through this. So this is probably going to be a big thing right here, all right? The Home Builder Confidence Index, all right? And then building permits, that could also be a market mover. But, I mean, overwhelmingly, I'm just going to say the charts are going to be dictating where we go. It's not these things, all right? It really, in my personal opinion, it's not these things. And by the way, guys, everything you find here on this channel is completely just my opinion. It's complete speculation, so don't take it as anything else, all right? At the end of the day, I have no crystal ball. I fully acknowledge that I don't know where we go. Okay, that is why we connect the dots here on the channel. All right, we bring an order to the chaos, and yeah, that's what we do, guys. All right, we look at probable scenarios, and the common theme you're going to see from video to video is I normally lay out 2 probable scenarios. You're also going to see that common theme over on my Webull. All right, that is also going to be a common theme. I typically lay out 2 because I don't care which way we go. All right, but if I start seeing something, then it's telling me it's likely going to be one way or the other. All right, so we'll go over that in a sec. All right, but yeah, all right. You should have a crap ton of speakers, guys. You really do. Like, there's a crap ton. You have Bowman, Williams. You had Waller, Hawk, I believe. All right, I don't know what the heck this is. Dallas Fed listens with Dallas Fed President Lori Logan and Fed Gov Michelle Bowman. Don't know what do they listen to? No idea. All right, but then you also have Bostic. I believe he's a hawk as well. Not sure though. Maybe he's neutral. Not sure. Maybe he's a dove. I don't even know. All right, but like I said, you could literally just come over here and then check that out. All right, but over here, then you have this dove speaking after hours. So, all in all, guys, this PMI, I think this is probably going to be, really the biggest thing you have this week. You don't really have much, and that's why I'm saying, like, overwhelmingly, it's going to be the charts. It's not like last week where we had CPI or PPI. All right, PPI did end up sending us up. All right, but yeah, all right, let's dive into the charts. All right, we're going to actually start with the monthly chart, okay? Because this is the weekly update, and we don't typically look at the monthly charts, but that is what we get to do in this, all right? And then we get to focus on the weekly charts as well. Obviously, we're going to be looking at smaller time frames because, where are we going to be moving on Monday and Tuesday likely? I don't know, all right? That's what the smaller times they typically end up telling you. All right, there's that. All right, but what I want to show you guys is that VIX is hitting this trend line, all right? So there is that. And you see where your CCI is right here, okay? So we have the monthly CCI. We're going to come right here. All right. The monthly CCI is at the lowest level it's been since over here. Okay. And that was this right here. And then you shot up 46% there. All right. So $11 to 17 over there. But the real thing on Mr. VIX, which we're going to talk about that in a little. All right. The real thing on Mr. VIX is that you're hitting this trend line. Okay. You're also hitting this support down here. Okay. And we'll look at that when we go over the weekly and daily time frames over there. All right, but yeah, guys, you have like your monthly stochastic and CCI here. They're extremely oversold, and now you're hitting this trend line, and you're hitting support. All right, yeah, I'm just saying, like, that is a factor that is on the board there. All right, now we're gonna come over to check on QQQ. All right, let's actually get rid of all these. All right, I'm sorry. I wish there was like a button I could hit. Come on, bro, start deleting them. Come on, bro. You little piece of crap. All right, there you go. There we go. All right, so far, guys, you have a bearish Rammy forming on the monthly time frame. All right, and I'm just gonna say my opinion right now. I don't think you're gonna close above this. All right, which means this is probably gonna stay. It means probably gonna form like that. All right. In the last bearish Rammy, yeah, you had a bearish engulfing over there. Yeah, all right. Bearish engulfing, bearish Rammy. Bearish Rammy, you did end up going up though. Bearish Rammy. All right, so the way I look at the monthly time frame is literally just I don't wait for confirmation on candlesticks. All right, if I see something forming, it's typically just, you know, it's suggesting where price is going to be moving the next month. But then again, I don't really focus on the monthly time frame, which is why you don't see it a lot here on the channel. There's just not really the biggest reason to do so. But I am going to say this right now. All right, like look, all right, I'm going to go over my reasoning on why I don't think we are going to be closing up here. I'm not a perma bear, so I don't really care where price goes. I'm not a perma bear, not a perma bull. All right. Maybe it sometimes sounds like that, but I'm just letting you guys know. I'm just a realist. And right now, yeah, we're getting ready for the big sell, but does not mean we can't go higher. All right. And I actually do think we go higher. So let's step on over to the weekly time frame over here on QQQ. All right. So QQ did end up recovering over here. All right. It, like, you know, guys, it was a very like extreme volatile week. All right. But it ended up recovering, and we do have increasing buy volume here. Oh, look at that nice little arrow. I forgot I added that there. All right. But you got buy volume right there. And then I want to point out, you still have this bearish divergence going on right there. You have that going on right there. Right. And even your weekly RSI is ticking up almost to overbought territory. All right. That is about that. That's all I really want to show you guys on the weekly time frame. But you do have that increasing buy volume. And the last time you had the increasing buy volume was right here. You did end up moving up the next week. Oh, increasing buy volume right here. You did, I mean, from where you closed, you ended up moving up that week. So there was that increasing buy volume right here. You ended up moving up. Let's see over here, increasing buy volume right here. You did not. All right. So that is something to know. All right, coming over here to SPY though. SPY is right here at these two trend lines, right? You see this fat wick, guys. So these trend lines are the ones that I was watching, and specifically on the daily time frame. All right, well, on any time frame actually. I don't know why I said the daily time frame. All right, I was watching right here. Okay, I was watching right here. You know why? Because you have this support, or not support, you have this resistance, you have your resistance zone where the seller stepped in over here, right? This is just where you end up popping in. All right, and then on top of that, you also had this trend line right here, which was your rising wedge that you broke down from over here. All right, and then on top of that, you also had this trend line right here, which stems from the August high, and then you have that touch point, and then you have that touch point over there. So let's quickly get rid of all of that. Make the chart nice and pretty for us, even though we have a lot of clutter on the chart currently. All right. But yeah, over here on the weekly time frame, you also do have that increasing buy volume right there. All right. So that is a thing. All right. And guess what, guys? Your CCI is even higher than it was last week. So that is a thing. Now, your stochastic is not crossing over yet. I'm just saying there is a likely chance that happens next week, in my personal opinion. All right. But again, that's opinion, that's speculation. All right. And it's just me using my experience to, you know, like connect dots. And that's that. All right. But now let's go over some things. Okay. So let's come over to the, actually, never mind, VIX Weekly. We completely forgot about going over the VIX Weekly time frame over here. All right. You do have your CCI all the way down here in oversold territory. All right. So that is popping up, and that is where you bounce right here. All right. But you did go higher from where you closed that week. All right. It went like from there all the way up there. So it was a 18% rise right there. But it did end up falling down. All right. But that's not really important. All right. Like history, it's not going to repeat itself. It is going to rhyme. All right. And all I'm doing here is just reviewing the conditions we have. The point is, or my point is here, this is where you bounce on VIX. All right. So even if you don't bounce this week on VIX, all right, which I'm going to show you why I think it's extremely probably we do. All right, extremely probable, in my personal opinion. This is where you bounce. Okay, you had it there, you had it there. Now you're getting it here, and then yeah, over here. All right, and yeah, all right, you're getting down there. All right, that right there, that right there. So my point is, like, hey, this is where VIX typically is going to pivot. Okay, now let's get that off of there, and then let's go over. Actually, hang on. Hang on. We have something big loaded on Mr. VIX, eh? Just some. All right, so look at over here, right? Look at over here. You shot up. That's a pretty big week we had right here, right? Well, let's just say, okay. If the RSI is gonna get up here, it's probably gonna form some divergences, eh? All right, and I do think VIX moves a little lower. All right, when you came down to this low, guess what? Your low before that was over here, and you took like, well, hang on, actually, No, that was before the bear market, so that was not the low. All right, your lows were right here. Okay, so your low before that was up here, and you went from 18 all the way down to 17. All right, so that's like a 5% drop past that low. All right, which is like, it gives me reason to believe like, hey, we don't have to hold this right now. They could be literally trying to get the market to a new level of complacency here, which all in all, that's really what VIX being down here is showing you. It's meaning like VIX is the fear index, so like, which it's actually not, it's the volatility index, but it's, it's treated as the fear index because it spikes off here. All right, that is exactly what we had with the quote unquote market crash we had over here going on. Everyone thought market crash was happening, but guess what, guys? We're all the way at the bottom again. Oh, look at that, look at that. Whoa. And guys, sorry if it sounds a little tired. All right, it is at night. All right, I just know I will not have time to do it tomorrow, and I want to spend all Sunday with my dogs. All right, and just getting stuff done on Sunday, so just rather get this out tonight. So yeah. All right. But yeah, all right, let's switch on over to the daily time frames. Okay. So as you can see, all right, it was 1706 before. Not only did you hit this trend line, you also hit right there at the whatever it's called, at your support. Well, you didn't hit it, you're 1 penny off of it. So I mean, you're bound to hit it next week. All right, I don't think they're going to take you 1 penny away from it. Just leave it at that. All right, but I want to point out that you burned through your divergence over here on the daily CCI, so that is something to know. All right, now over here, you didn't need a divergence, okay? But when you came over here, look, you came all the way back down here. But then again, when you started coming where you are right here, okay, you were all the way up here, and then you shot down. All right, well, now you're all the way down here. So I do think it's VIX is going to pop rather quick, in my personal opinion. All right, the only times during this bear market that you have been down there is, well, not down there, but past, I think I pointed out 1850 in my Webull update the other night from Thursday's update, so last night's update. I pointed out that every time you close under there, you get back up within 1 to 2 days, okay? So the only time it took 2 days was over here, all right? In 1850s, or yeah, right over here, all right? So look at this, you closed under here. Let's just draw these arrows. All right, you close right there, boom, 1 day. All right, you close right here, boom, 1 day. All right, close right here, it took 2 days. All right, because you closed right here, and it was there, and then boom, you're back up. Okay, and yeah, all right, and then over here, took 1 day, and then you started shooting up. All right, boom, right here. Is that under 1850 though? Yeah, it is. All right, boom. All right, you started shooting up past 1850. Very quick, okay, and that is when everyone thought there was, oh, market crash, we're all gonna die, okay, banking fiasco, banking crisis is gonna collapse the whole system, boom, 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 boom. But guess what, guys? All right, the fear and greed index was over here at it was at 24, guys. All right, you can actually see it. Oh, 23. Okay, that was what it hit. I think it actually hit a low of like 21. So I'm just saying, guys, whenever this thing is saying something, it's normally like the move is going to be the opposite. That's just how I see it. All right, that's actually one of the reasons that I think they're probably going to push you up. Like if I was the dealer, so I'm going to go over a little later here after I just go over the, we're going to finish up with the daily time, and then we're going to go the 4 hour and 1 hour on SPX, SPY, and QQQ. All right, and VIX. All right. And then we are going to go over, if I was the dealer, where would I be bringing this thing next week? What would be the trick that I play? Because quite frankly, guys, we have quite a trick here. I told you guys that this week was going to be filled with dealers' tricks. All right, that is why we prepared it. Okay, we prepared you guys in the last weekly update as well. That's what we're going to do here, guys. This is exactly what we got. We got a crap ton of dealers' tricks. All right, especially today, guys. Today was it was a tough day. All right, but we weathered the storm. It was pretty good. All right, there was that. But yeah, back over here to where were we? We were on the daily time frame. I know we were over here on Mr. VIX, right? Mr. VIX, like I said, all right, it's going to pop up with 1 to 2 days, or that's what it's done in the past. I don't know that's going to happen, all right? I think that's the likely scenario that's going to happen, all right? But it doesn't have to happen. But guess what? VIX closed red alongside SPX, which what does that give SPX? A buy signal. We have a buy signal over the next 1 to 2 trading sessions. So here's what I'm going to say right here, okay? VIX is all the way down here. We know that VIX bounces out of this like under 1850. We know it bounces out of there within 1 to 2 trading sessions, right? Okay, and we don't think it's going to go much lower. It can go much lower, but just know, guys, the further this thing goes down, the more complacent this market is, which means boom, this is going to happen. All right, the further this gets down here, all right, I'm just saying this thing likely around the corner from spiking again. All right, considering everyone has, well, not everyone, but you could see yeah, it's up here in the greed category, which I'm looking personally for it to get to extreme greed, and that is when I'm just gonna know, like, hey, it's extremely probable that, hey, this is the top. All right, because guess what? No, I'm not going to say a top. We'll call it a pivot point. This is a major high. And that's because, hey, that's literally just going to justify to us. It's going to show us that, hey, most people are very likely on one side of the trade. So just X that out. Let's X that out over there. All right, because guess what? The charts are really all that matters, eh? And investor psychology, investor trader psychology. At the end of the day, guys, there are going to be traders that are pulling triggers and they are moving the market. All right, just because we don't have their money does not mean we can't think like them. All right, which that's what we're gonna do. All right, that is what we're gonna do. All right, we'll save that for a little later, 4-hour time frame. All right, going over SPX. So SPX, let's go over the candlesticks real quick. We have SPX having a bearish harami right there. SPY is also matching with the bearish harami. QQ has the bearish harami. IWM almost a bearish engulfing. All right, almost. DIA bearish harami. Okay, ES, it's going to be the same. All right, XLF over there. Now look at that. We're going to talk about that a little later in the video. All right, and guys, we're going to make this a shorter video, but it could take 30 minutes. It's whatever, guys. When you're going over this amount of information, I'm just saying, guys, it's going to take some time. All right, so if anybody has a problem with how long it's taking, like, sorry, it's just like, it's the cost of getting the information. That is that. All right, there's not really much I can do here to portray this information to you any quicker. There's really not. All right, I'm sorry. All right, that is what it is. All right. But yeah, over here on SPX and QQQ, no, actually QQQ had increasing buy volume. So QQ had increasing buy volume. SPY and SPX had decreasing sell volume. So they're all in support of the buyers is what I'm getting at. Okay, so the increasing buy volume over here just suggests you're probably going to be taking over this high. All right, or you're going to gap up. It's one or the other, but it's indicating that the buyers are going to be in the way. Now, guys, we're so close to this 322.08 that I think it's going to be hit. But then again, like I said, dealer's tricks. All right, so we're going to talk about that in a little bit. All right, but yeah, this does indicate that you're going to gap up, or you're going to be getting past this high over here, which would bring you pretty close to this. All right, but I'm going to go over what, if we do hit this, I'm going to go over what I think is going to happen there as we hit it. All right, but before we move on, just remember, guys, you do have a triple bearish divergence. If you do make another high, you will have a quadruple bearish divergence, and that's on the daily time frame, guys. This is on the daily CCI. All right, the last time you did have a triple bearish divergence was over here, I believe, and guess what? It got burned through, and you went like that. All right, are we gonna get something like that? We're gonna talk about that. Okay, we're gonna talk about the dealer's trick. All right, because it can be that, or it can be something else, and if it's something else, I'm going to go over it, and it's going to frustrate probably the most people if we get the second scenario I'm going to go over. So we're going to go over that one. All right. But yeah, guys, your RSI is still right. It's riding high up near 70, which, yes, guys, if we get up to 70, that's going to be another sign, just like that fear and greed index in extreme greed territory. It's going to be another sign to me like, hey, it's very likely that the major high is right here. Okay, it's like it's right here. If you see this RSI tick up there, all right. But if you do see it tick up, all right, I think it would probably form a divergence. Maybe not. I don't know. Over here on QQ, clearly we do. Also, we have this divergence already. But if you do go, oh, guys, if you go up and if you go past here, you're going to end up go past this high here. You're gonna literally end up going for a triple bearish divergence. Even stronger sell setup, in my personal opinion. So that is that. All right, let's go over IWM. Okay, IWM. Now, this is just weak, guys. All right, it's weak. Now, I'm going to be honest, it's surprising considering XLF was doing this today. All right, but you did have the increased sell volume. So even though they gapped you up, most of that volume was selling. Yeah, all right. The gap up is the only reason that thing's green. Because it was not the volume that came intraday. All right, there was that. But over here on DAA, like I said, you do have the bearish harami right there, and you are broken out on DAA. So that is something to note. I'm not going to say it's like too important here, but you do have this bearish divergence here. You have your RSI right underneath down here. okay, right up at 70. And unlike QQQ and SPY, this thing just kind of can stay up here, okay? And you can see, all right, like this whole time, all right, well, SPY and QQQ, they didn't do this, all right, but they did, but DIA did this, all right? You see, you know, you were up here. You were over here. DIA, no, it was leading the charge over there. And then it stalled out, whereas everything else didn't stall out and just kept pushing higher. DIA did not. All right, so that's why I say, like, hey, take this with a grain of salt. All right, you did break out of your bull flag. There's no denying it. If, ands, or buts. Let's actually, I'm not going to put a target on the board, all right? We'll put a target on the board in Monday's video. I'm not going to pull up the patternsite.com right now. I'm going to be honest, guys. Your boy does definitely want to sleep. But, you know what? I also want to chart. Because, you know, guys, charting is great. It really is. At the end of the day, guys, your boy's a chartist here on the channel. And, yeah, guys, I'm going to be honest. I call most of the shots. And that, I know for a fact that is how that has been going. All right. And if you don't agree with that, I'm going to tell you right now, you have a bias and you're just listening to some of the things I'm saying, because every single video goes the same exact way. I am looking at the chart and I'm literally just, I'm taking every single factor that is on these charts into consideration. I'm mentioning these. All right. And then we're going to draw probable scenarios. All right. But guess what, guys? For weeks, we've had like the bullish scenario here. I've been calling for this, all right? For weeks, when we were down here, I was calling for this. When we were up here, I was still calling for the more action, all right? I'm still saying it's likely that we get more action. I'm going to be completely honest on that one, all right? So anybody who thinks I have been a permanent bear, I'm just going to say right now, like, I haven't. I really haven't. And like, go back, all right? But like, if someone comments that, guys, I'm gonna roast you. I don't know what else to tell you, okay? Because like, you know, it's just kind of frustrating. Like, I do end up, you know, I call the shots, okay? There's that. But yeah, moving over to the smaller time frames, guys. All right, so let's look at the 4-hour time frame. So I want to bring this up. QQQ literally back tested, like a perfect back test. Look at this. You didn't close back in it. That's sexy. Okay, that's sexy. All right, now we actually can make that trend line a little better right there. Just a little like that. All right. Yeah. Wow. That is an even sexier back test. Wowza, guys. So call this whatever you want. Rising wedge, bull flag. All right. I pointed this out in my live stream today. If you do end up taking like the flagpole of this and just measuring it that way, all right, it is going to bring you up into the next, like literally directly up into this next supply zone. All right. So that is the thing. In your supply zone right now, it's literally just right here, right up at the high there at 322.08. All right. Which you did. You went up and filled the gap. Not intraday, all right? You did it after market hours, so that is the thing, all right? But I do personally believe it's going to be done intraday. Now, the question is, do they gap you up over it, all right? That is the thing. So I guess actually, guys, we have 3 dealer tricks that can be played. So we have 3 scenarios that can go down this week that we're going to be going over in a second, all right, after we finish up with the small time frames here, all right? But I want to point out, this is undeniably bullish in my personal opinion. All right, you do have a successful back test. All right, you also do have your CCI cross it back up, or not cross back up, it's hinge back up, right? Well, what happened last time that happened? Well, guess what? You ended up getting that, okay? And you went at like a decent amount higher. So, you know, and again, I'm going to go over what I think is going to happen if you go a little higher, all right? And I don't think it's just going to be like that, all right? I'm going to be completely honest on that one. All right, but you do have your stochastic hinging back up, and your RSI has room to run. And if your RSI, it has room to run, but still forming that divergence. And like I said, look, guys, you go up to a new high on the daily time frame, you do have that bearish divergence, so that is going to be a thing. And moving over to SPY, all right, SPY, and actually come back over to QQ real quick. All right, over on the hourly time frame, I want to point out that you are overbought on your oscillators, but you know, it's not really the most important thing. All right. You clearly have seen that price action has been king. That is, I think that's been like the most accurate calls I have been able to make. Like, that's the reason I've been accurate, is because I've been paying close attention to price action, structure, and yeah, I've just been literally reacting to how the price is moving. All right. Because like you say, guys, like literally every day I say this, all right, or every video, which guess what, they're every day. Well, every day but one day of the week. you know, guys, I don't have a crystal ball. You guys have to, if I acknowledge it and you guys are watching this channel, please acknowledge it. Please acknowledge that I don't have a crystal ball and you don't have a crystal ball, because if you're thinking either of us have a crystal ball, you're going to make some really bad decisions, man. And there's no reason to make some bad decisions. There's not. Okay. You know, yeah. All right. Just control your expectations. That's all I'm getting at, because at the end of the day, this could do some crazy things in both directions. All right. We're at a pivotal spot right here. I mean, either I'm sticking with my guns here. All right, guys. Like, I mean, it's not just my guns. It's like what the charts are suggesting is going to be going down to me. All right. I don't think you're going to bust through here. All right. I don't think you're, I don't personally don't even think you're coming to this August high. I think you're coming right here in between. All right. But, hey, let's stop talking about that. Let's come over to SPY and SPX and go over that before we go over what I think the dealers can do. Okay. There's 3 scenarios that I think can go down. All right. But like I said, SPX did come up like literally directly to that trend line here. All right. If you move back up, you're going to form a bearish divergence on your CCI here. But, you know, like, you know, it could end up playing out like this, where you, you know, there's that. You have that, and then boom, you have another push, and then you get a triple bearish divergence, all right? So how high can you go by the time that forms, if that does form, all right? Because then it would be boom, all right? And let's just see if it's going to mimic that price action here, all right? Boom, all right? I'm not saying that's going to be happening, but if it does happen, I don't think price is going to stall there, personally. But it can, all right? You do have the 80% gap fill rule, and guys, I respect technicals. I respect the charts. The crap out of the charts, and yeah, all right. But just like QQQ had a successful back test, what do we have over here on SPY? We have a successful back test on the 4-hour time frame. All right, and guess what? You are over this trend line now. You're kind of in between these, this zone right here, which means something explosive is going to come out of this. It's either going to be that, or it's going to be that, and I think you're going to overshoot that if you do end up doing that. All right, I think I'm going to go over on QQQ, like I said, dealers, okay? Like there's a scenario, okay? But over here on the 4-hour stochastic, you are crossing up right there, and you have your CCI hinging up at the buy line right there, and your RSI has a little room to go, not as much as QQQ. I think QQQ is going to be running more than SPY, personally, all right? But it doesn't need to be that way. Maybe most people are short in SPY, and that's where the shorts are going to be at. No idea. Okay, no idea. But I'm pretty sure more people would be short on QQ with how the setup looks. All right, QQ has ran massively over here. But keep in mind, guys, we do have this bearish falling wedge here. So if you do end up busting up, you are literally just setting yourself up for, oh, what is that? A back test. Back test. That's what you're setting yourself up for, as long as you don't keep running past Thursday, okay? And guess what, guys? You can literally come all the way up here into Thursday. And guess what? If you don't keep running into the end of the week, even if you run all the way up here, and as long as you stall by Thursday, you have a back test of your wedge. It's not okay. All right, well, it's not okay for the bulls. It's okay for the bears. That is the thing. Guys, I'm just going to say, you're going to be in pain if you're on one side or the other there, okay? Just, you know, just chill, okay? Just, all of this is information, okay? And like, yeah, the Bears are probably going to have their moment very soon, all right? But I don't think it's going to be yet, or it could be yet. It could. It very well could, all right? Bulls, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, my opinion is that your time is running out. But I think your time is going to, your time to run out is going to align with that fear and greed index hitting extreme greed. Because like I said, this is going to, it's going to show everyone is on one side of the trade, and then boom, rug pull. And just like you get these short squeezes, you're going to get a long squeeze. All right. And then you get something like that. Oh, I said the term. No, I said it, guys. I said it. No, I said the R word. I didn't want to say the R word. That's why I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm not a perma bear, guys. I'm like literally a chartist. All right. My personal opinion is you're going to come up here and you're going to go down there. All right. Well, I don't want to say that's not, no, I don't have that expectation, guys. It's just like, you know, like it, I don't know where price ends up stalling out. I'm just going to say right now, if you do end up pushing past these highs, guys, you're going to get a short squeeze. Okay. And that's like almost guaranteed. Okay. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no arguing with it. Okay. If you even inch up past these highs, guys, all right, even past this, just this demands or the supply zone I have right here, right? Discluding these wicks up here, even if you get right here, guys, I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty sure you're going to be hitting a lot of stops. All right. And guess what? What is that going to do? It's going to push you up to that cap fill. All right. And then that's the point when I don't think dealers would end up giving you a super ideal entry like that. I mean, if it works out like that, perfect. Fine. All right. Guess what? That's super fine. I just don't think it's going to happen. Just like on QQ, I don't think they'll stop it at the 322.08 gap fill. I'm just going to say right now, guys, all right? People are going to be shell-shocked. Well, they're likely going to get shell-shocked, all right? I would get shell-shocked, but, like, the only reason I'm not shell-shocked, if it does happen, I won't be shell-shocked, is because, like, hey, I'm open to every single scenario. That's why we're talking about it here in this video. It's the purpose of these videos, guys. That's literally it, all right? I don't, like, just tell you exactly where price is going. I give you these probable scenarios. All right, so it's literally your job to see where price action goes during the week so you can identify which probable scenario we're working with. The Webull updates, they're a little more accurate, okay? Because guess what? I get to do them at the end of the day. I get to sit down. I get to analyze a chart for like 1 to 2 hours. And they're, well, not a chart, a lot of charts, all right? Sometimes they're a lot quicker, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, actually, none of them take me 2 hours. I'm going to say they probably all... We'll say 30 to 60 minutes is typically what those Webull updates end up taking me. And guys, if you want to check out the Webull updates, guys, please feel completely free. I find them, they're invaluable in my personal opinion. Like, there's nobody else who has been doing that. Nobody else, all right? A lot of people make people pay for that exact thing, okay? The analysis. A lot of people make people pay for it. And guess what? It's not nearly as accurate. Well, it could be nearly as accurate. I have no idea. I don't pay for these things. But, you know, like, I do it for free. All right? So that's, like, my game here. My game here is to provide you more value than you can have others paying. Okay? Like, I don't know off the top of my head. I know there's the Woo guy. All right? And, like, he charges the Panda Woo guy. I'm just saying. My stuff is amazingly more accurate than that guy. All right? And guess what? He charges 100 something a month. All right, I don't charge anyone 100 a month. There you go. All right, and you know he does Elliott wave, so there's that. I stopped following him like a while ago just because I noticed he was not. I was following him so I could try. I was going to learn Elliott wave, so I followed him when I started reading my Elliott wave book. But then I ended up. I still follow him, but I'm not going to follow along with his Elliott wave, guys. If you follow along with other people, just realize that you're going to have data overload. And yeah, that's just typically what happens when you watch, like, you know, when you're taking in too many opinions, you're gonna sit there second guessing yourself. You're gonna sit there, you know, it's not gonna lead to good things. That's what I'm getting at. That's the whole thing I'm getting at. It's not gonna lead to good things. All right. And you know what, guys, here on the channel, we like good things. All right, we do. All right, so let's go over QQQ. Let's go over these scenarios. Okay. First of all, no, we'll keep that up. Okay, we're gonna come over the 4-hour time frame to make these scenarios. Okay, all right. So as I said, if you come up here, you're gonna hit this back test. So regardless, as long as you don't run past Thursday, you're hitting this back test. And guess what, guys? If you run past Thursday and it just so happens to come to Friday, you still have this zone right here. And at all costs, guys, I'm gonna be honest, you're gonna get stopped this August high. All right, that's my. Again, I don't want to have that expectations, but I will say right now, like, it's if you make it up here, guys, this is your glorious short entry. You pull that trigger, you pull that. If I get that, I'll pull it a little heavier. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, right? If I get this, I will pull the crap out of this trigger, all right, with dated ass puts. There we go, baby. And guess what? They'll be QQQ. But guess what, guys? I don't think that's gonna happen because that would be like literally, like I just said, I would be able to go so. But wait, if you're, but then you got to be open to the possibility of like people loading the boat up there and then boom, they shoot you past there. Like guys, it's just in someone's best interest to do that. Okay. And like I said, it doesn't matter that we don't have this money. All right. At the end of the day, all of these candlesticks were caused by investor and trader psychology. Okay. Them pulling their triggers. So if someone's out there, you know, it's possible. I'm just saying it's possible. So we don't know how high this thing is going to end up going before starting this cool off. I personally do think it's like, hey, guys, picture perfect scenario. You come for the back test. All right. A lot of people probably don't have this rising wedge up on the chart. They probably forgot about it. They're like, oh, no, we're still in a bull trend. Still in a bull trend. There we go. All right. Well, guess what? You're going to make the higher high. People are still going to think you're in a bull trend. Well, guess what? That's going to come with divergences. It's going to come with a back test. And guess what? All right, psychology. You're not going to let people get the mother of all short entries. And guess what? Anybody who went long here as a breakout trader, you're not going to let them get their exit. That's the like, it's, I'm just saying, it's extremely probable that they don't just shoot you up to here. All right, which, you know, that's, I'm just saying. All right, but if you do end up overshooting this high, I'm just saying they will have shorts covering. Okay, if you do that, I'm just saying. Oh, I gotta say, I gotta stop saying I'm just saying. All right, that was the last time. There we go. All right. All right. Scenario number one, guys. Scenario number one, they never take you up to this gap fill, and that is all she wrote. All right. This back test is Fugazi. That's all she wrote. You come down, you break this low. All right. And there you go. That would ideally, guys, I'm going to be honest. Let's move over to the daily time frame. This was an ideal bull trap and bear trap, in my personal opinion. All right. This was the ideal trickery that I was speaking of. The dealers pulled their games. All right, and guess what? You got everyone jazzed up here. All right, then anybody who went along into that really nice action right there, like, guys, even like, you know, I was like, holy crap, they came out of nowhere. What the heck? Like over here, you were doing that. Now, again, I'm never like certain on these things, which is why, like, yeah, in the Webull update, I actually, I do know for a fact, I did call out that a bounce, I thought a bounce was likely going to end up happening just because of what I was seeing across the board on these 4-hour time frames. All right, you did end up having yeah, you did. Oh, it was over here, actually. It was over here. You had the bullish divergence going on over there, or at least it was an oversold territory. I don't know if it's a bullish divergence, right? Come over here to Goog. It was the same thing, guys. It was the same exact thing. You come over to Amazon. Look at that. We literally, Goog literally backtested it. Amazon literally backtested it, but you were over here. All right, and then you have, what was the last one? Well, yeah, I know you have Meta, but it's one I'm forgetting. Apple. Okay, there was Apple, and Apple was, again, you had this bullish divergence on Apple, and you were in this falling wedge / bull flag here. So yeah, and I'm just saying, guys, if this was a 3-week pattern, there would be the target. Oh, I just said it again. I said the thing. All right, but your target would be at the high, which is 167. So let's actually put that on the board here. Yeah, we'll put it on the board, because even if we're not going to use it as a target, it's still going to be used as resistance. So do that. All right, and there we go. All right. All right. So, guys, I actually, hang on. I wrote down some things so I can stay organized. I just kind of threw that out the window and just literally went about my thing. Okay, I just literally went about my video. All right. So what I want to talk about right now, or I want to show you guys right now, is XLF. All right, XLF. So this is what I showed you guys in the live stream earlier, and this does look like it is going to continue higher. You don't have a bearish divergence popping up here on the 4-hour CCI there or anything like that, and you also don't on the hourly. So I do think this is probably going to continue up here. All right, but I'm still going to treat this as a back test. I don't think it's going to be going much higher than this. I'm just gonna, that's my personal opinion there. You do see the CCI that's crazy. All right, look at the CCI, look at your stochastic right there. All right, which you actually do have this no, it's not a bearish divergence. Never mind, you're making all the highs right there. Your blue line, which I think that's K. That's stochastic K. Yeah, all right, so that's K. There you go. But then again, who even cares? Who cares what it is? K or D? Who cares? Okay, who cares? Oh, and by the way, all right, I know I showed you guys QQQ, but over here on Nasdaq Futures, you also did have like a picture perfect back test. So, and yes, this is on the 4-hour time frame, guys. This is why, oh, this isn't Nasdaq Futures. This is ES. Holy crap, guys. You have across the board, you have these perfect back tests, man. Dang, man. Look at that. Look at that. All right. But yeah, same over here with Nasdaq. Let's actually delete that trend line right there. All right. You did end up having your successful back test. So that is a thing. And DIA did end up breaking out, guys. Like I said, guys, it's all just information. All right. Take it or leave it. It's info. That is that. Okay. Let's go look at DXY. So DXY is bouncing here, right here. All right. And you do have the bullish divergence popping up from there to there. So that is something to note. And your RSI is, your daily RSI is approaching this oversold territory. Now, the last time you just kind of traded down here, that doesn't have to be the case. But as you see, you typically do end up getting down there. You know, over here. I know you guys can't see where the price is on these times, right? You're over here. When you started getting to oversold territory, you're right here, and you made 3 more troughs right there, right? Over here, you were way up here and you kept falling. All right, well, guess what, guys? We still have room to fall down the trend line. So I'm not going to say dollar is just definitely going to step in here, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is all she wrote. I'm going to be completely honest. You guys see where VIX is, all right? VIX is literally on the trend line, okay? It's on the trend line. Well, it's past the trend line now. It's on its support. All right, this was literally the low. So like the further, I'm serious, guys. I mean it. The further this thing goes, the more complacency you got. The more complacency you got, the bigger that sell-off is going to be. The quicker, the harsher, the more money it's going to take out of people's pocket. The more panic selling is going to happen. That's what I'm getting at. Okay, and guess what? The same thing. You guys want to talk about explosiveness, right? Well, guess what? Explosiveness is likely coming to the downside very soon, just like when your boy called the shots over here. Okay, guys, over here, we were calling for a short squeeze. Guess why? The fear and greed index was in extreme fear. It's about to be in extreme greed. That's a 12% move right there. What if it comes up here and now you get an extreme greed? 12% downside brings you right to that rising wedge target. Boom, bop, bing, boom, pow. All right. What if you get a bounce at that rising wedge target? And you go like this. Boom, you bounce up right there. Boom, head and shoulders. Boom. Then you get another target on the board. Yeah, that's far out, guys. We don't make projections here on the channel, right? That's why I do the probable scenario thing, all right? Because, yeah, all right, we do that. And then we also just look at every possible scenario. Yeah, so probable scenarios and then every possible scenario. That's what we cover here on the channel, all right? There you go. Hey. Ah. Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah. They were in a place this whole video, so you know, not too bad. They were in it to win it for chicken feet. I guess not. Well, I mean, they didn't get off the place. They just started bouncing. They started barking on the place. It's whatever. It's whatever, guys. It is okay. They're in their I will say they're in like their teenage dog stage where they just found out how to freaking bark. Not just found out how to bark. All right. I'd say about 2 months ago, they really got their loud bark in there. Right before that, it was like this, woof, 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 woof. Like it was this little pussy bark. This was little like, hey, they didn't know how to do it. And then I started taking the Dogtopia, and what happens? They learn how to freaking bark because all the other dogs bark. Dogtopia like ruined my. Nah, they didn't ruin my pups. All right. But I will say, all right, I didn't have time to train my pups. They got bad behaviors from pups that I had to get out of them. All right. Yeah, overall, guys, I wouldn't take your dogs to a doggy daycare. I really just wouldn't recommend it. Right? I worked at one, and I can tell you right now that the people watching your dogs, like, gets to a point where you just like, I'm not gonna say you don't care, but you're not gonna sit there trying to give each dog the best day of their life. No, all right. But when in reality, your owner is gonna be like, that's your job. All right, you can do that. Okay, but how is this person gonna have fun with all 20 different dogs? No, it's just going to put like pretty bad behavior in these dogs. That's what I'll say right now. It puts bad behavior in dogs. That's at least like what I experienced with every single dog. So just my experience, wouldn't recommend. All right, would not recommend there. All right, now let's finish off here with, oh, we didn't even go over the 3 freaking scenarios. All right, we went over 1. All right, so number 1 is that that's all she wrote. She never ends up coming up here and hitting that gap fill. I don't think that's going to happen. All right, you do clearly see that increasing buy volume there. You had the decreasing sell volume over here in SPX and SPY. All right, and yeah, I just yeah, you know. All right, scenario number 2. All right, over here on QQQ. Scenario number 2 is they bring you above here. All right, to this gap fill right here. All right, and then guess what? Like I said, that's gonna, you guys, you're hitting stops. Stops are gonna be pushing up here. Okay, and then you're looking at this. Okay, then you're looking at that back test of the rising wedge. That's where I'm going to be honest, guys. All right, I'll definitely pull a trigger there. That is an edge and a half in my opinion. All right, but yeah, there's that. And guys, predefine your risk. All right, and do what you got to do. All right, but yeah, scenario number 3, and that's, I'm going to say this is going to put the wow on everyone's freaking face if this happens. But keep in mind, all right, last time you were like, let's just look at the CCI. Your CCI is down here. Like, you have room to move. Let's just treat it as if it was this candle right here that we just got. All right, guys, from that close, you went up another $18. Almost, we'll call it $20, guys. If you go up from the close 20 freaking dollars, you're doing it, guys. You're doing it. You're going, like, that's what I'm saying. So there's going to be so many people wanting to short here. Guess what? Nobody wanted to go long here because you're in a bear market. All right. Well, everyone wants to go short. So I mentioned it recently, guys. Most of the calls that I've had spot on play out immediately are the ones that are longs in a bear market. And why is this? It's because nobody wants to go long. So it catches everybody off guard. Whereas everybody wants to go short in the bear market because it's extremely obvious. So guess what? They're not going to catch everybody off guard. It's going to continue. The people are going to be like, oh crap, it's starting. Boom. No, that's going to catch everybody off guard. So that's what I'm saying, guys. All right. Like, this is going to be a tough short. And because of this, or because everybody wants to get in on it, you're going to just have people piling in on here, and more people are just going to get, short squeezed. All right. Nevertheless, I don't know if dealers are going to really put the pain on everyone. Are you going to put the hurt on everyone? I don't know. All right, because that would be the scenario if you go here. That is max pain, in my personal opinion, is you have a McSqueezy. All right, and the McSqueezy is probably going to be something like that, where you just keep freaking squeezing, or it's going to be something like that. All right, that is when, I'm guessing, guys, over here, this when you had extreme fear, right? Well, guess what? That's like evident that, most people are on one side of the trade. Well, that's what we got when most people were on one side of the trade. Right over here, you had a $20 move. Not saying a $20 move is about to pop up. I don't want to, guys, don't let my words scare you. At the end of the day, if it is scaring you, all right, you have a bias. You're not looking at my information as information. You're looking at it as like, hey, I'm saying something that's scary to you. Like, this not, no, guys, you need to treat everything as info. It's not, you're not going to make it in this game if you don't. I promise. All right, so there's that. And that goes for me as well. All right. Now that we went over the three scenarios, let's look at the FANG stocks, guys. So every weekly update, guys, we'll review these FANG stocks. All right. And maybe I'll do these every video. But for now, we'll keep it at the weekly videos, just because these are the ones that I can spend a lot of time on. These are the ones that, they come once a week. All right. This is our weekly preparation for the upcoming week. All right. And that's where we really give these I don't even want to call them projections. They're these big probable scenarios, all right? They play out during the full week instead of just the little ones we give on the day-to-day basis. All right, so my personal opinion over here, all right, the probable scenario on QQ, in my personal opinion, is it's the same one I've been calling for the whole time. You come here, boom, start getting hit. Boom, 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 boom. You got breakout traders. Breakout traders, the target might even be this back test, might be the freaking up here at the August high. But they're not going to give the longs what they want. And they're going to rug pull, okay? Because at the end of the day, you want that extreme greed, all right? Then what do you want? You don't want people to get an exit, all right? So then you hit it with a gap down, all right? And I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if I was the dealer, I would pull this trick. I would make the shorts burn over here, all right? And then what would I do? I would bring you right here in the middle, and then I gap you down. And what does that effectively do? It traps the longs. It makes it so the shorts, maybe we're not able to get in because they're like, oh crap, it's just skyrocketing, right? And that's why it's probably going to be a blow off top style thing, or it's gonna look something like this, where you just like, boom, you have no idea. All right, 3.59%. I'm not saying like it, I don't think that's gonna happen. All right, not even close. I think that's gonna happen, but I think it's gonna be something like that, where you end the day with a green bar here, and then boom, they gap you down, and there you go. That's your effective trap right there. All right, so yeah. All right, now let's look at these FANG stocks over here. All right, you do have Apple. Like I pointed out, you had the bullish divergence over the 4-hour time frame. Now you actually have a bearish divergence on your 4-hour CCI and your RSI. So that is the thing. All right, you come over here to, and by the way, guys, on Apple, you still have this gap fill here, and you're actually right here at this trend line. And I moved my trend line back because I saw this one was the one being respected. All right, we can actually touch that one perfectly, and it brings you perfectly to this touch point today. No, it doesn't. Never mind. We could touch. No, I guess we'll keep this at the trend line, guys. This is the trend line. All right, we're just literally going from wick to these bodies. All right, to that body, and then boom to that wick. All right, that is our effective trend line here on Apple. All right, that is what is I think is being respected here, and that's what I do with my trend lines, guys. I adjust them to make sure that I'm seeing the thing that the most amount of traders are probably reacting to. All right, and that's like the goal of my trend lines here. All right, you did have declining buy volume over here. Sorry guys, I'm tired. I'm gonna be straight up. I'm definitely tired right now. And that's that. All right, but guess what, guys? I'm gonna be tired tomorrow morning if I gotta get up early to do that. Hell yeah. All right. Moving on. All right, Microsoft. All right, Microsoft over here on the 4-hour time frame. You clearly see your CCI is it's hinging up there. All right, it's not in oversold territory like we just saw Apple's. All right, but it's hinging up. It's getting up there, and it's still got room to run. All right, you see, it's literally just hanging on at the bottom of this the rising wedge here. All right, so I do personally think you're gonna get an not upward resolution to this, all right? But I think these patterns you're gonna stay in these patterns, okay? You come over here to Goog, all right, and Goog again. Now, actually, Goog is one that I don't know if you're gonna stay in this pattern, all right? If you get what I'm saying, like two out of three scenarios there would likely mean Goog is going to be breaking up from this, and then like that's a troll. All right, and then you come over to Amazon. Amazon, as of right now, you got a successful back test. All right, so if you come down here and break this, well, it's not successful yet. You're back testing it. If you come down and break this low, then you have a successful back test. There you go. And then it's gonna go like boom, and then boom a room, and that would be how that goes. All right, but yeah, same thing over here. 4-hour CCI is in overbought territory. All right, and same thing over there with your hourly stuff over there. And let's actually look at Meta, okay? And then we could look at NVIDIA real quick too. All right, Meta broke out from the red and is going up, all right? So that's a thing. I'm just saying, I would say this thing is invalidated, this rising wedge we got going on here. Even though you broke down, guess what? You guys, you're breaking up past it. So, you know, any targets that could have been put on the board there, they're not on the board no more, all right? But guess what? I didn't even have targets on the board there. All right, but this is your next supply zone right there. All right, you have that going on, that right there. All right, so that is where I expect sellers to step in over here in Meta. And that's what I'm saying, guys. Everything is like, you're right here underneath this. So if you do bust through it, yeah, shorts are going to be squeezed. But like regardless, on all of these big names, like you're right at resistance or you're under it. All right, you're really not going to go much further. Like Goog here, I would say you could go to this high over here, which was... I 113.01. All right, so let's put that on the board just to watch it. 113.01. All right, so that like potentially that's a place you could end up going to, and that's what I'm saying. You would have now a triple top if you ended up doing that. So yeah, guys, everything like again, Microsoft is right under resistance too. Amazon is you know, Amazon's the one that got away, right? Amazon is not right under resistance. Okay, Amazon came all the way up to 118. So you know, there's that. All right, moving on to Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin. All right, and we'll look at Mar and Riot real quick too, because this is the weekly update, and I know people are trading that, and those are the sexy miners. All right, those are the best miners. I'm gonna reiterate the same thing I said in my live stream today, guys. Everyone thinks this is well, not everyone. All right, obviously I don't think this is a successful breakout, and you're about to explode here. All right, but I'm seeing a lot of people make some crazy Bitcoin calls, and yeah, they make no sense to me. So, and I brought up, guys, where the heck is this money coming from? All right, you're in this current environment. I understand maybe you get some of it, maybe it goes crazy a little bit more, maybe it does hike up here. I don't know. Okay, but if you do get some squeezy McSqueezy over here on QQ, I imagine you're gonna get a squeeze over here on Bitcoin, and it probably would break up past here, but guys, I think it's more likely that you end up holding this resistance zone right here. You do end up coming back into the wedge, and likely, I think you're eventually just going to make your way back down here. And I think that happens over the following months. All right. But again, I don't like making these projections that are far out. I'd rather just look at, you know, I'd rather call the shots as we go on. But over here, you do have a bearish divergence over here on your CCI and your RSI. And boom, RSI is at overbought territory, but like you see over here, right? It can come up over here. The real thing I want to point out here is like, hey, you're in the same, you have the conditions you had at all-time highs. All right, you have a triple bearish divergence, so it's not even just the negative one you had, the simple negative one you had over there. Right, it's the big one. Guess what, guys? All right, over here you just kept forming your divergences. Boom, eventually you did end up getting that rug pull on Bitcoin when you know, it didn't end up going to 100K the first time around, and then boom, oh, you made a higher high or a higher low, and then, oh, everyone thinks you're still going to 100K. So then you made another higher high there. And guess what? Now people are really convinced, like, oh, next time it's going to be the dip before the rip. All right. And guess what happened? Boom. You had a little recovery for everybody to get out who didn't see this one coming. Boom, you plummeted. All right. And it was like 70%. So I do personally think it's going to be something similar to what I just described, right? Plummeting 60%, 60, 70% here. All right. Yeah, 76%. And if you did end up breaking down into my zone, all right, from highs, you would go 50%. All right. And if you were to go to the low of the zone, be over here just about 10K, you're falling 70%. Boom, bop, bing, boo, pow. There you go. All right. So let's look at Riot. Look at Mr. Riot. There we go. All righty. That was my whiteboard. That just fell. Oh, well. All right. It's the same thing as Bitcoin. This, to me, this makes no sense. Where is this liquidity coming from? I understand right now. It's, guys, all we're seeing, guys, is a massive short squeeze. That is what's been going on. All right. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's a giant short squeeze. All right. But now you're in the same spot. All right. Except you're higher. And where were you? You were back up here. All right. And this is actually when Mara went to highs. All right. Riot, I understand, went over there. But this is when Mara went to highs. And now we're actually going to come down to the daily time frame. All right, let's get rid of that. Get rid of that right there. And I think we still have that. Yeah. Get rid of that. Oh, what is that right there? Let's get rid of that as well. All right. You come over here. Okay. And Riot is just, like I said, squeeze and McSqueezy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's exactly what's going on. Okay, guys. Within... what is this, 6 trading sessions, you want 50%? Insane, guys. Insane. Like nuts. I was in disbelief. I was honestly in disbelief. Okay, I'm still kind of in disbelief, but it's whatever. All right. But holy crap, you're at the top of this range here, and if you get like 2 out of 3 of those scenarios I just mentioned on QQ, all right, like, yeah, this thing's gonna squeeze, and guess what? Shorts are gonna be stopped out. Because I don't know how high Riot's going to end up going. I really don't. All right. But you do have this bearish divergence going on here. And you don't have a bearish divergence on your RSI anymore. You burn through it. So that is something to note. All right. Over here on the, screw the 4 hour. You see what this thing is doing. We're not paying attention to the 4 hour right now. I'm just saying, guys, this thing is, sooner rather than later, this thing is going to, it's going to fall Bitcoin back down. All right. Coming back over tomorrow. All right, so Mara actually also rallied, I think, into a reaction spot, just like we just saw Riot do. Oh, no, never mind. It ended up flipping it, and now we have a bullish hammer candlestick. So that is something to note. I think, yeah, it's not a bullish divergence, I don't think. All right, but yeah, your RSI is over here at overbought territory. And same with Riot, except not as extended. Now, Riot does have better fundamentals. That is not an opinion, that is fact. All right. Eventually we can just look at their balance sheet and I can go over why. And then I can show you how, like, hey, they actually have more potential than Mara now. And that's why, hey guys, when the time comes, I'll be choosing Riot instead of Mara. All right. I'm going to be playing like both of them, but vast majority of what I'm playing, it's going to be Riot. All right. Just because they better fundamentals, it's going to be moving better. Just look at it this way. Okay. When this happened, Mara had more potential than Riot. Okay. Now, what happened here? Riot, they barely moved, okay? Whereas Mara skyrocketed. Well, now Riot has a lot more potential and the current fundamentals are just better, all right? They have way less debt, and yeah, they're pretty much matched. They're matching up with Mara, guys. They're not doing shabby. They're not doing too shabby over there at Riot. They picked up their game, all right? Yeah, guys, you know, I'll be looking for the buying opportunity eventually, but guess what, guys? That's going to be in like a month or 2. My personal opinion, all right? Personal opinion, but yeah, I'm the first stop. All right, after this thing finally stops squeezing, it's gonna be these gap fills, which is why I have these alerts on. All right, and yeah, they could end up causing bounces here and there, right? But if you get what I think's gonna come, then I don't think we're actually gonna get a lot of bounces. All right, maybe we do like this. You had a gap rate. Actually, yeah, you probably do end up getting a lot of bounces along the way, right? This was a decent sized bounce at a gap right here. All right, and this ended up bounce up 35%. I think we have another one right. Yeah, we have another gap right about right here. And oh, this was the same thing. Okay. There was that. All right. All right, guys. So I think that is pretty much it. I will catch you guys in the next one. And yeah, peace.